Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And it's a good afternoon. We are back. Welcome back to Hard Facts. Remember, I promised you an interview at 4:30. I know we're 9 minutes out, but you know what it is. As they say, we have to pay the bills. Don't start calling yet. I said we have a special guest at 4:30. Stop calling. We're talking BRICS. We're talking mint. We're talking why is it important to Nigeria? Why should we care? What's all the fuss? I mean, really, what does it even mean for after? What does it mean for us? What does it mean for your household? What does it mean for your children? What does it mean for the next generation? And today I have with me, and it's an absolute honor. You see, because I have access to like big people, you people think they're just ordinary people, but they are big people, and I drag them out to come and talk to you. His name is Emeka Orjih. Emeka, who is Finance and Development Strategist. He is also the former Assistant Country Director of the U.S. government agency, United States African Development Foundation, aka USADF. Who else should be able to talk up to us about BRICS, if not Emeka? And they call him the strategist. Emeka, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Ireti?
Absolutely, I can. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and talk everything BRICS and economy and mint and all of that with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you very much for having me. It's my honor.
No, it's our honor. It's our honor. So let's get right down to it, because we're going to try and hold you down for as long as possible. All of a sudden, once the Ukraine-Russia war began, suddenly everybody started hearing about BRICS. It was BRICS this, BRICS that. They're getting together. But most people did not know that actually BRICS has been around for several years. And then there's also the other one called mint. And there's other sort of, if you like, economic blocks. So can we start from the history? What is BRICS and why is it suddenly relevant?
Thank you very much, Ireti. BRICS is an acronym that stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It was initially coined by an economist named Jim O'Neill in 2001, I think. So that's 22 years ago. And it was coined as, it was initially called BRIC. So there was no S, there was no South Africa.
Right.
Brazil, Russia, India, China. It was coined as a term of the upcoming economies. Like after the G7, after the developed nations, the BRICS were coined as the upcoming economic, strong economic nations on earth who could be the next big thing.
Okay.
Now, they decided amongst themselves to come together and start some sort of an economic collaboration.
Right.
So they now did that, and they now started holding summits, annual summits. I don't remember when the first one was, but I think it was about 2009 or something like that.
Okay.
So they started holding annual summits. They started talking to each other, basically asking themselves, what can we do for ourselves and for economies that resemble us? The concept of that was that, or what was behind their mind, was that G7, which is the other economic / geopolitical bloc, the G7 cares more to economies and to countries like itself. And so they wanted to create another economic bloc that could cater more or cater better to economies like them, like emerging economies.
Okay.
China and India were still emerging economies then. I am not certain that many people will still put them in emerging economies today.
Certainly
even though
not.
I think some still will. So that's what has then happened. So that created this economic bloc which is slowly becoming a geopolitical bloc.
Right.
So they are starting to do corporations, economic corporations, political corporations, and strategic corporations to help themselves.
Okay.
Now that's BRICS.
That's BRICS.
Now Mint, Mint started 10 years later.
Okay.
In 2011, also coined by the same guy, Jim O'Neill.
Right.
Jim O'Neill coined the term Mint. So Mint was kind of like, after BRICS, these are the next guys coming. And Mint stands for Mint is M-I-N-T, Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria, Turkey.
Okay.
So the next 4 economies. How did Jim O'Neill choose them? He chose them based on certain peculiarities in their demographics, large populations, and economic potential based on resources, human and material. That's how they were chosen. And so mints have not really become a block.
Yeah.
The mint remains a concept. They have not moved. They have not moved like the BRICS have moved to consolidate and to attempt to become a block that can help themselves. Let's put this as simply as we can. These are economic cooperation blocks. These are countries coming together to try to help themselves and people and other countries that look like them. So that's what this is.
So let me get that straight. Countries come together a bit like a corporation in a market, if you like, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They come together to help each other in order to grow their trade, their economy internally, and to trade with each other.
Yes. So the kinds of things they do is they grow trade opportunities, like you mentioned, amongst themselves. They do investments among themselves. They also do diplomatic relations. So I'm my brother's keeper, so to speak. So there's that diplomatic relations. They do education and skill exchange programs, technology transfer, things like energy cooperation.
Nice.
So, for instance, in the BRICS nations, imagine that Nigeria joins BRICS today. The leading nation on earth today, the leading nation in renewables and development of renewables energy is China. China is a part of BRICS. If Nigeria joins BRICS today and decides to pursue an energy cooperation with China under the BRICS platform, it is possible that we can then ramp up our solar, wind, and other renewable power on the back of that kind of a cooperation. So that's just an example of the many things that could happen. Of course, there are, like I said, private sector investments, increase in foreign direct investments, increase in even governments. I mean, like the Chinese government, the Indian government, the Brazilian government, they could all decide, oh, we're going to invest. For instance, they've set up a development bank. It's called the New Development Bank. And it's supposed to be an alternative to the World Banks of this world and the IMFs of this world.
Right.
And as an alternative, they could step in and bail out nations. For instance, Nigeria is in need of a bailout. If Nigeria was part of BRICS, BRICS could be a potential resource or
Let
a
me
potential
interrupt you
source.
before we talk about where
sure.
it comes in Nigeria. So I'd like us to take a step back to, is it 2011 when Mint was created?
2011 is Mint?
Yes, when Mint was created. As of that time, there was clearly an expectation that Nigeria was going to become the giant that it was, right? Our economy was clearly different. There was an expectation that we're going to do so much more with that all-important human resource, which is people, young people, smart people, technology people, etc., etc. But we haven't appreciated that, have we? I mean, we really, since 2015. So 2011, 4 years later, 2015, and 8 years later, here we are. Do we not get thrown out of Mint? Do we still belong in Mint?
Well, the N in Mint is Nigeria, but But don't forget that mint is just a concept.
Right.
Mint has not moved beyond being a concept.
Right.
So mint has not been actionalized. It has not been operationalized. It's just a concept on paper.
Right.
Yes, I completely agree with you that Nigeria has not lived up to its expectations, to global expectations. In fact, it is very arguable that we have regressed since we were put into this concept of mint 12 years ago. It is arguable that we have not met right now with the prerequisites and the conditions to be named as the next emerging economic blocks after BRICS. It is arguable, for instance, that Malaysia should be ahead of us. It is arguable, for instance, that Vietnam should be ahead of us. I'm not even talking about arguable. These are things that, if you look at
it's just the truth.
If you look at the economic indices, yes. If you look at the economic indices, Vietnam and Malaysia, particularly, I just picked two countries. Vietnam and Malaysia is way ahead of Nigeria. If you look at pure economic indices. So if the mint nations were to be reconstituted today, it is possible. It is within the realms of possible.
I'm laughing because
that the name will no longer be mint. Yeah, the name will no longer be mint because there will no longer be an N, because the N has retrogressed in the last 12 years.
Right. I hear you. So let's now move on to BRICS. Why were we not invited?
Yes.
Or were we ever invited?
Invited to what?
To BRICS.
Is it to the summit? Is it to the summit happening now in South Africa?
To be the N inside BRICS now.
Or to be part of...
Can we not be the N? Even if it's a little N.
Oh, you want it to be named... You want it to be named BRICS.
And
BRINCS.
And now, why not? Why is it not named that? Why not?
Well, there were certain considerations. Those considerations included things like your GDP per capita, for instance.
Oops.
So there were considerations in which Nigeria really fell short. So which is why they put us now in the next block. The next block being mint, of which now we may even be falling short of that categorization of mint. But categorization or not, what we need to do is to get our act together, become more fiscally responsible, so that these global players that are observing us can look at us and see that we are seriously heading in a certain direction, and they can then try to assist us to get to that direction, or not assist us. But right now, I think we are the architects of our own position. We are the architects of our own, I don't want to use the word failure, but I'm going to have to use it. We are architects of our own failure and our own present conditions, and that has happened because of how we have run our affairs. I will give you an example. We were named mint in 2011. In 2011, we were producing 2.4 million barrels of oil every day. Today, we're doing 1 million barrels.
Mic drop.
From 2.4 million barrels a day to 1 million barrels. How did we retrogress even in that which is our core competence? Crude oil is our national core competence. Yeah, everybody knows that. So how did we retrogress in our national core competence? And if you retrogressed in your national core competence, what else did you retrogress in? If that, which you have very obvious strength in, you have gone way back. You have gone from 2.4 a day to 1 a day. So you have retrogressed by a minimum of 60-70%. What else have you retrogressed? We have numbers of Nigerians, middle class, educated, trained, Nigerians leaving the shores of Nigeria every day. Australia, Canada, those United States, England, even Germany has started to push people from Nigeria. And our most critical resource is our human resource. I was saying, I wrote an article some weeks back, and I was saying that I studied primary, secondary, and university my entire basic education up to university level in Nigeria. It cost me, in total, in Naira, 2,400 Naira. School fees of primary school. Okay, so my primary school was free. But my secondary school, I happened to be a federal scholar. They said I was smart, so they gave me federal scholarship. So that 2,400
How does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Cowbellpedia is back with more subjects and more entertainment, and up to 100 million naira worth of prizes, scholarship, Cowbell products. Introducing the new quiz master, Ebuka Obi Uchendu, and your host, the stunning Linda Ejiofor. Watch 14 weeks of pure genius on Africa Magic, NTA, and TBC. Cowbellpedia. So good, so smart.
If you're on Niger's Confirm Network, you get a super gift of 1,000 naira for just joining the network. You're welcome. 900% bonus on every recharge, 100% data bonus for 6 months, and double data bonus on your first recharge of the month. That's the 9 Confirm plan from 9 Mobile, and it's lit. So get a new SIM or dial star 1400 hash and start browsing, sharing, and creating more on Niger's Confirm Network. 9 Mobile, here for you, here for Niger.
The biggest reality TV show in Africa is back. Get ready for double wahala as the stars pepper them so they can level up. This season is bigger, louder, and the chances of mega drama is too sure.
Spend lesser time scrubbing with Too Sure dishwashing liquid and enjoy more exciting moments as you tune in this All-Star season. Too Sure dishwashing liquid. No be wash.
And here we are, a new season upon us. The better, eyes locked on the target. It's a dance of digits and odds. And goal! Against all odds, he scores! Kick off the new football season with BetKing. We've got better odds, a more generous odds boost, and our biggest ACA bonus. It's a new kind of excitement. Bet at betking.com. Use the promo code FREEBETBK to bet for free.
That feeling? That's BetKing. Do you want a place you can call your own and make your home? If yes, then Rose Garden by 4 Point Real Estate is the answer. Let 4 Point Real Estate get you the home you've always dreamed of. Rose Garden semi-detached and fully detached duplex is in a serene environment and close to MFM and comes with easy access to Alausa with an initial deposit of 2 million naira and 12 months of installment. Rose Garden, Magboro is where you want to be. Call 0703-286-3156 or 0813-077-3134 or visit 4pointproperty.com. 4 Point Real Estate, your easy way home.
This house will implement spending cuts on household essentials. First, cable subscription from premium to standard.
Aye.
Now, 3 crowns milk from...
Don't touch us. 3 crowns milk, oh.
Why?
Mom sacrifices a lot, and 3 crowns milk nourishes mom so that she can support our family.
Moms are our treasures beyond measure. So treasure mom with low cholesterol 3 crowns milk today. 3 crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Your paddy of life. Aquafina, your paddy.
Cheers to friends who push us to be better. The ones who genuinely want what's best for us and save us even from ourselves.
Your paddy of life.
Cheers to friends we can always count on. Our true paddies of life, like Aquafina Premium Drinking Water from the makers of Pepsi.
Twale for you. That work where you do makes sense wella. Your customers don't ready to pay and you sweet your guy for belle. Now you the rain no. So you reach to shake body small. Carry go with correct bedu wey be your own. Oh yeah, download Spotify for free now.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Across Nigeria as national grid collapses.
The UN is warning of the consequences of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
We are right on
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk.
Headline news at this hour. Lagos Police Command launches complaints response unit to report on-the-spot crime as well as airing policemen. Lagos State House of Assembly urges Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to convene Security Council meeting over recent killings. Feed Industry Practitioner Association of Nigeria urges new agricultural minister to tackle food insecurity. NDLEA launches manhunt for alleged Lekki drug dealer Showumi Kayode for driving his car to crush an officer. Arraignment of suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele stalls again. President Tinubu's first cabinet meeting fails to hold today, Wednesday, as planned. First Lady Remi Tinubu urges Nigerians to be patient with President Tinubu's led administration. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike directs immediate rehabilitation of Abuja Rail Mass Transit. Minister of Transportation Saidu Alkali says federal government plans to roll out electric vehicle mass transit scheme. Former NBA President Ulisa Agbakoba tasks Attorney General and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi on reform of police, EFCC, and judiciary. Nigeria's former Minister of Petroleum Zani Alison Madueke will face bribery allegation charges in the UK. And on the foreign scene, new twist in Niger crisis as Russia mercenary group Wagner arrive Niamey from Mali. India's Chandrayaan-3 becomes the first space mission to land near the south pole of the moon. And World Cup run lifts Nigeria's Super Falcons 8 places in FIFA ranking, now 32nd best team in the world. I'll be back at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock, for a comprehensive package. My name is Ufumai.
Lagos, I'm sure that we can all agree that great entertainment has a way of putting smiles on our faces, especially during this period. And that's exactly what we're getting from the Big Brother Niger All Stars, okay? Bruh, last week's drama was off the charts, and with the constant scheming and plotting from the housemates, at the end of everything, Kidwire got evicted on Sunday. And then Biggie brought in Lucy, Prince Nelson, and Kim Opera, and Omashola as well as his house guests. So guess what? They are not even playing for the 120 million prize at all. All they have to do is cause a little commotion, all right? And trust me, they're already giving that. So now all your faves are on the eviction chopping block, and only your votes can save them. If you're a DSTV customer, you can get up to 10,000 votes on DSTV Prestige and as many as 2,500 votes on DSTV Premium, depending on your package. Remember that the higher your package, the more votes you get. Exciting, right? Don't forget that voting closes on Thursday, 10 p.m. So ain't nobody got time to wait. Start voting pronto. Do not sleep on this, all right? Tell a friend so that they never miss a moment watching at home or on the go with the DSTV stream. And don't forget that the BB Niger All Stars is 24/7 on channel 198, and you can tune in for the pool parties on Thursday night, the Saturday night rave every Saturday by 10 p.m. And don't forget that The Sunday live eviction show is on by 7 p.m. on African Magic channels. You already know now that anything can happen. So dial star 288 hash or download the My DSTV app to stay connected to the best of reality TV drama with the BB Niger All Stars. Don't forget that it's your moment with DSTV.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Hard Facts. My special interview. Let's call it the 4:30 interview because I'm trying to arrange it off 4:30 actually. Incidentally, Friday's interview can't be at 4:30. So I'm going to have to sort of reshape things. But right now, we have a conversation with my guest, Emeka Orjih. We are talking BRICS. Don't worry, guys. Don't call yet. You will get a chance to ask him questions. I don't know for how long, but I promise we will share him. Right now, it's my turn. Let's finish the conversation. So, Emeka, thank you for staying with us. I know radio, we go on quite a bit. So, you were telling us about how you did all your school in Nigeria, etc., etc. The example you were giving us. Do you want to finish there?
Oh, yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So my entire studies in Nigeria cost me 2,400 naira.
Wow.
And I went to school in the 80s and in the 90s. So I didn't go to school in the 60s or 50s. So 80s and 90s, primary school, secondary school, university. And it cost me 2,400 naira. And I was trained enough to be able to gain admission into an Ivy League school. And there are only 8 Ivy League schools in the world. And they are the most difficult schools to get into. So whatever training I received for 2,400 naira across 6 plus 6 plus 4. So across 16 years, whatever training I received trained me well enough to get me into some of the best schools and most difficult schools to get into on planet Earth. It means that training was worth it. Indeed. It means that training was good and it cost only 2,400 naira. Now, imagine that type of training is still going on. And so we are paying literally peanuts to be trained. We're training, for instance, medical doctors. We're training medical doctors for peanuts. I mean, you can finish medical school in Nigeria for something as little as 1 to 2 million naira.
Yeah.
You can finish medical school in Nigeria. Now, that's about what? $2,000? Now, $2,000 is not enough for your first month, MONTH, for your first month in your 6-year program. In fact, medical school in the United States is not 6 years because you do a first degree. So it's more like 10 years. So your first month in your 10-year program is what $2,000 will finance. And you have been trained for $2,000 for 6 years in Nigeria, and then you take all that training. And you go to the UK or you go to the US and you become a medical doctor. So what has happened really is that Nigeria has trained you for next to free, and you have taken all the skill sets and all the knowledge that you have acquired, you have taken it to go and develop America, those United States, or to go and develop the UK. It is on record that if the medical doctors in the UK pull out today, that the entire UK medical system will go on its knees. It will shut down, a total breakdown. It may not be up to that extent in the US, but the Nigerian medical personnel in the US medical system are a major force. We are the biggest singular unit in the US and the UK medical system. And most of those people, I'm willing to bet 90% of them were trained in Nigeria at a very ridiculous prices. So what is happening is that Nigeria is losing its primary resource, human resource. And that is because, and I don't blame them, don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. Talent will always move to where it is valued. Talent will always move to where it is valued. So if you keep running a system in Nigeria where talent is not valued, then that talent will move to where that talent is valued.
Very
if after
true.
going to school, if after being the best in class, if after struggling and coming out tops or near the tops of your class, some granuts and banana eating person who came last in class is promoted over you every year, is promoted over you, or she's promoted over you. I mean, and then you're paid peanuts and you're treated like trash. Why would you remain?
So what you're saying
system?
is that's why we've regressed, of course, since 2011, and that's one of the reasons why we're not in BRICS, and we're just about staying inside Mint.
Well, I'm saying yes, you're correct to put it short, but I am saying that we are mismanagers of resources.
Right.
We have mismanaged our primary mineral resource, crude oil. We have gone from 2011, when we are named into Mint, we were doing 2.4 million barrels of oil a day. We have mismanaged that till we are now at 1 million barrels of oil a day today.
Okay.
Yeah. So also we have mismanaged our primary resource, which is our human resource. We have mismanaged it. We are currently mismanaging it. And then if we keep mismanaging it, there's only one way we're going to go. This is not about prayer. This is not about positive thinking. If you keep doing something, you're going to keep getting a certain result. And that's where we are.
You mentioned something earlier before we went on break. You said we need to fix our fiscal policies. Is that what you said? And I'd like you to talk to us about that. What is that and how do we go about fixing it?
I actually didn't say we need to fix our fiscal policies. I said we need to be more fiscally responsible.
More fiscally responsible.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
Yes. So let me give you an example. Let me put it in very layman terms
Yes,
so that
please.
Everybody can understand it.
Yes, please.
If I'm coming to you, let's say I'm broke, and I'm coming to you to take a loan. Yeah? And I come to you, when I come to you 10 a.m. in the morning on a Monday morning, and I'm drunk. Yeah? I'm drunk. I'm smelling of alcohol. I'm smelling of cigarettes. 10 a.m. on Monday morning. I'm looking haggard. And I've come to borrow money from you. The first thing you're going to look at is you're going to look at me, smell me, and ask me, how much did you say you want again? And I tell you, 1 million naira.
Yeah.
And what you're going to think immediately in your mind, oh, so I'll give you 1 million naira so you can go and drink more.
Indeed.
So you can go and smoke more.
Yeah.
That's what's going to come into your mind.
Yes.
Whether that's what I'm going to do or not, that is irrelevant.
Yes.
What is relevant is that that's what's going to come to your mind. We are currently fiscally irresponsible. So because of our fiscal irresponsible as a nation, when we go to potential investors, when we go to potential creditors globally and internationally, and we tell them we need money, they're looking at us. Same way you would look at me if I came to you drunk at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning to borrow money from you. They're looking at us, okay, so we're going to give you money so that you go and mismanage it again. We're going to give you money so that you go and buy bulletproof cars at overpriced, at overinflated invoices for all your members. Yeah, we're going to give you money so that you go and build a 1 kilometer road for 1 billion naira. We're going to give you money so that you buy fire trucks for your airports at $2 million per fire truck. Right? That's what you're. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally do.
So we are currently in an economic hole. There are only two ways to come out of that economic hole. There are only two ways. One way is that we drastically improve our economic base and our economic returns, our foreign exchange earning, so our dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, the easiest and fastest way to do that is to take our production from 1 million barrels a day back to 2.4 million barrels a day, for instance, if our OPEC ceiling allows us that presently. That's one way to do that. If you do that, I did the calculations for someone yesterday. If you do that, we will get, our crude oil is at below $80 now per barrel. If you do that and you remove cost of production, taxes, other expenses, and partner payouts, we're going to be making about $30 million a month. If you calculate that across a year, it's going to be about $1 billion extra a year. Those $1 billion extra a year is a future cash flow. Is a future cash flow that you can then borrow against.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we know
so
it's
that
going
is
to
one,
come.
Yes, because we know it's going to come. So that is one way. That is one way that we can get ourselves out of the current economic hole that we're in. The next way is to borrow, of course, because we are broke as a country. So the next way is to borrow. So two things. When you borrow, you must invest in things that can give you returns. You cannot borrow to spend on recurrence. You cannot borrow to consume, right? You must borrow and spend on things. That is the first thing. But the second thing is that you have to be credit worthy to borrow.
Which is where fiscal responsibility comes in.
Which depends on fiscal responsibility.
Right.
Which depends on what's your history?
Yeah.
What have you done with monies that you've had in the past?
history.
How have you managed it?
Yes.
How are you going to pay back this one? In the current trajectory you're moving now, are you likely to pay back? When are you likely to pay back? So those are the questions that they will ask themselves before they engage or not engage you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
those are two things. And looking at us, I am not certain that I can say that we are set to do those two things.
Oops. Okay. Look, you guys have started calling. I will be taking your calls. You will be able to ask Emeka, and he's actually Dr. Emeka, by the way, right? I should have said that up front, but he's very modest like that, right? On 0700 993 993 993, and the female only line is 01465 7190. You will be able, and you can send your messages on WhatsApp in advance on 0809 597 5805 before I come to you on the lines. So, Dr. Emeka, tell me, what exactly are those all? I mean, I know they want to expand BRICS, and in the current summit, they've talked about expanding it to all the mint countries and bringing in 20 more countries. It's actually a shame because they're actually treating Nigeria, the apparent giant, like the prodigal child. Let's just allow them, make it shift small, like we have a small bomb instead of a big bomb. But in any event, are these all we need to do to be allowed into BRICS right now? And is that opportunity going to come whilst? Is that part of why Shetima is there?
Well, I do not think that the presence or absence of our vice president will shift the needle in any direction.
Okay.
There are things that they will consider. So the first thing is their internal politics. The internal politics within BRICS.
Aha.
BRICS is made up of 5 nations, yeah?
Yes.
BRICS is made up of 5 nations, and they arrive at conclusions through consensus, right? That is their mode of decision making, through consensus. So currently, there are nations that are very interested in expanding their base.
Yeah.
And there is a nation that is not interested in expanding the base.
Tell us
and
which one.
And they are the neutral. So let me just name 2.
Okay.
China is interested in expanding the
Of
base.
course now, because they want to rule the world.
India is not interested in expanding the base.
Ah, that's interesting.
The idea around it, I would think, and I may be wrong, I don't think I am though, but the idea around it is that China and India are regional rivals. They are the two largest economies in Asia.
That's right.
And some of the two largest economies in the world. They have about the same. They have similar populations, and so they look at themselves. They view themselves as rivals. So India is worried of Chinese intentions in that expansionism. You understand the point?
Totally.
Yeah. So they are worried. So they are more interested in trading slowly. India's foreign policy is not geared towards global footprints.
Right.
Global expansionism. China's foreign policy, is leaning towards that.
Absolutely.
And so India is kind of worried and slow about being dragged into what it may see as China's agenda.
Okay.
They wouldn't want to play inadvertent assistance to China's globalist agenda as they see it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying or not saying I am neither saying nor not saying that China has globalist expansionist ideas and intentions.
Okay.
I am just saying that is the perception from the Indian side. So that internal politics, and these are two of the more powerful nations within the BRICS bloc, right? So that internal politics there is already a major determinant on if they allow their base to expand and how much they allow it to expand by. That is the first thing. Then the second thing is that when they come to the point where they say we will allow it to expand, and they may come to that point at this current summit that is going on. You do know that there is a summit going on right now in South Africa.
Yes, of course.
There's a BRICS summit going on right now in South Africa, and that is one of the things that have been tabled for discussion. Should we expand? Should we not expand? If they are going to expand, there has to be criteria. They have already set those criteria, and they're looking at nations.
Yeah.
I think somewhere between, nobody's very sure, but there's somewhere between 22 and 40 nations that have officially applied.
Right.
Including Nigeria.
Of course.
Including Nigeria,
Okay.
yes. It is looking like if they expand, my sources say that if they decide to go for expansion, that they probably will start with a number that sounds like 5.
Ah.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, so
and we will
that
be
is
one
what
of
I'm
that
hearing.
5. We will be one of those 5s, will we? We say yes.
I'm sorry,
yes.
say that again.
Are we going to be one of the 5? Fabulous
I
5.
have no idea.
Oh dear. Okay. The numbers, the calls are going crazy. The lines are crazy. Let me try and squeeze in a question quickly before we go on a break. Hello? Oops. You snooze, you lose. This is not the time. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos.
What's your name?
Pastor Ladipo.
Pastor Ladipo, go ahead, sir.
My question to your guest is this. He's saying that whether our lenders want to borrow us more. What about the gain from the lender side?
Okay.
Don't you think the reason they continue to borrow us more money, even knowing fully well that our leaders are mismanaging this money,
Okay.
and they are not thinking of their own gain side? That is the question I want to ask you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Ladipo. I will put it to Emeka. I only have 39 seconds. Emeka, here's the question.
Yes.
The gain, you said something Pastor Ladipo wants to say, or what Pastor Ladipo said is, you talked about the lenders not wanting to borrow to us because we have a bad credit. But he believes, isn't it that they borrow to us because of the gains on their side, because they know that they'll be able to make money from us?
You want me to answer now?
Yes, go ahead.
After the break?
I think yes, you can. You can. Oh, you're
creditor.
Go on.
Every lender wants to ensure that they get their money back, right? And
let me interrupt you 1 second.
They will slow down.
Your line keeps going. 1 second. Let me just try and squeeze in one more question. I'm trying to squeeze in as many before we go on break. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Sunday. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, Sunday, go ahead.
Please, the question I want to ask is that for over 30 something years we've been borrowing as a nation. The banks, the World Banks or the MIF, the IMF that is borrowing us money, doesn't mean that there is no limit to a borrowing.
Okay.
There's no limit to borrowing.
Right. Will they be borrowing us indefinitely, you mean? Okay.
There's no limit to it, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Right. I think, do I have time before we go on break? Okay. I have a minute. So let me let you, would you be able to finish the first answer in a minute, or should we come to you after the break, Emeka? I can still take more calls. Go on.
Okay. So when every lender is lending, what is uppermost in the person's mind, whether it's an individual or a corporation or a country or a fund, what is uppermost in mind is, can I get my money back?
Yeah.
With whatever interests I am interested in. And interests, some of the time, don't have to be money.
Aha.
So if you lend me 10 naira, your interest will not be that I should pay you back 11 naira. Is 1 naira on top of your naira. Your interest may be that you want access to something that I'm sitting on. So you are lending me 10 naira. Yeah, give me back my 10 naira at some point. But in the meantime, can I have access to that thing there?
Aha.
Yeah. So interest is interest. I am what you are interested in. That is where the term interest comes from.
Right.
My interest is this. So it is not necessarily a percentage. But percentage is good for its universality. It has become a metric for measurement. So you then say, I give you 10 naira and you pay me back 10% interest. You pay me back 11 naira.
Okay.
So
we'll be right back. Hold on 1 second.
Recharge, wetin dey happen? Now where people dey see fuel, gas and foodstuff with them they carry.
Oga David, you never hear?
Say wetin?
The ogbonge Agro Strong Relief Package for everyone to buy land with ease this season, and you go get refuel, refuel, regas and recharge.
Abeg yarn me make I hear.
Enjoy up to 40 to 50% discount on top any land where you buy this season, and spread balance within 12 to 24 months without gifts. Or make you enjoy 30% discount and spread the balance within 48 months. Or make you get a refuel of bag of rice, carton of noodles, or make you get a regas, refuel, or recharge on top your prepaid meter or rechargeable lamp. Terms and condition dey. You fit also subscribe to our daily payment plan where you fit pay as low as 500 naira daily to buy your land. For more story, you fit visit any of our office or reach us for this number 070-3512-1208 or 080-6001-6174. Building cities, communities, and homes.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Oral-B today. Na Nigerian Dental Association. Tanga Gidigba with Oral-B.
Are you ready to unlock your financial potential?
Introducing Lovonos Microfinance, your key to financial empowerment.
Whether you're saving for your dream or growing your business, Lovonos has got your back.
With our innovative solutions, our personalized service, we make banking simple and convenient.
Need a loan? Lovonos Microfinance Bank offers flexible options with competitive interest rates.
And for our valued customers, we reward you with exclusive benefits and rewards.
It's
time to take control of your financial future. Join Livonos Microfinance Bank today.
Livonos Microfinance Bank,
your partner for success.
Join us now and let's take that financial ride.
Livonos Microfinance Bank, your trusted financial partner. Visit our nearest branches or visit our website at www.livonosmfb.com.
For more information, you can email us at info@livonosmfb.com
or call 090-5677-9011
or 070-6288-5315.
The biggest reality TV show in Africa is back. Get ready for double wahala as the stars pepper them so they can level up. This season is bigger, louder, and the chances of mega drama is too sure.
Spend lesser time scrubbing with Too Sure dishwashing liquid and enjoy more exciting moments as you tune in this all-star season. Too Sure dishwashing liquid, no be wash.
We done it again now. Can't talk to the new season don't land. Person with the bet. Focus I sharp for target. Go! Abana the big face. Put them inside net.
Oh, you started the new football season with the Bet King. We don't arrange better odds. Odds boost today, nyafu. And we have got Alka bonus self day. This one, a new and better jollyment feeling. Go play your bet for betking.com. Carry the promo code FREEBETBK. Take some your bet free of charge.
That feeling? That's Bet King.
The Duke of Shomolu invites you to Anonymous Nipples, a trail of choices. Join Nigeria's most beautiful women as they savor the pain, pleasure, joy, warmth, and excitement that comes with responsible adult love in this new 2-in-1 play, featuring the delicately sweet Marvelous Dominion. Written and directed by William Benson. Catch the stupendously mellow play, a trail of choices, on the 26th at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And then surf into the exotic ambient venues at Hall of the Musan Center, Onikon. Limited tickets are available at wakaevents.ng. Regular 5K, VIP 20K, VVIP 25K. Anonymous Nipples, a trail of choices will shock you. 18 plus. Sponsors, V-Bank, Vectra Coffee, Amstel Malta, Waka Now, and Abbey Mortgage Bank PLC. For inquiries, call Joseph on 0909 532 5791.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. With our unique expertise, we select fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world. Experience Lipton Yellow Label's flavorful and balanced taste in every sip. Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste.
Get in on the action. Betano, your exciting destination for thrilling sports betting. Enjoy an award-winning experience with amazing betting options, cash out, and missions, as well as other features. Join now and get a welcome bonus of up to 100,000 naira. Betano.ng. The game starts now.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
If you're on Niger's Confirm Network, you get a super gift of 1,000 naira for just joining the network. You're welcome. 900% bonus on every recharge, 100% data bonus for 6 months, and double data bonus on your first recharge of the month. That's the 9 Confirm plan from 9 Mobile, and it's lit. So get a new SIM or dial star 1400 hash and start browsing, sharing, and creating more on Niger's Confirm Network. 9 Mobile, here for you, here for Naija.
Your party of life. Aquafina, your party of...
Cheers to friends who push us to be better. The ones who genuinely want what's best for us and save us even from ourselves.
Your party of life.
Cheers to friends we can always count on. Our true parties of life, like Aquafina Premium Drinking Water from the makers of Pepsi.
As a mom preparing for a big family party, what's the right soup that goes well with Golden Penny Semovita? A. Eforiru. B. Mian Taushe. C. Oha. D. All of the above.
enriched with vitamins. It's the right combo for Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala, Reactor Energy, push your limits, no dey tire. Your way, Reactor Energy drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.
Babe, let's go grab a drink now.
Oh, this woman. Go alone now. I'm very tired.
You better come, Joe. I'm buying my favorite yogurt for myself.
Oh, shit. Let's go there.
I can bet you're also buying Nutri-Yo.
Before, Uncle, with its delicious, thick and creamy taste, I cannot resist my desire for Nutri-Yo.
Mr. Nutri-Yo. I'm sure buying the strawberry flavor.
So you self like better thing? Me, I want the plain sweetened flavor, I beg.
I just knew it. The same flavor my baby brother loves, just that his own is the kiddies pack.
Sure, boy. That's why it's my guy.
Nutri-Yo, my yogurt irresistible. Available in 500, 400, and 125 ml. A quality product of Seaway.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Orabi, my teeth strong, my mouth is fresh, it clean well, oh, now Orabi. Strong teeth Orabi, fresh bread Orabi, 24/7 with Orabi. Strong teeth Orabi.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. Na Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Orabi.
Lagos. Up to 90,000 naira can be won every day with One Play Loto. With just 200 naira, you get the chance to play and win every day. Simply dial *347*880*3#. Specify the number of your tickets or entries from 1 to 10. Choose 1 to continue. You will receive an SMS on instructions to make payments. The draws for participants will be live on Nigeria Info, and you get this chance to win up to 90,000 naira. Tune in to WhatsApp Lagos 11:15 a.m. to 11:25 a.m. or Game On at 8:15 to 8:25 p.m. or the chat station by 10:15 p.m. to 10:25 p.m. Remember, you can play as many times as you like. The more you play, the more your chances of winning. Don't forget, simply dial *347*880*3# and play with just 200 naira. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. And remember to please play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in on the action with Betano, your exciting destination for thrilling sports betting. Enjoy an award-winning experience with amazing betting options, cash out, and missions, as well as other features. Join now and get a welcome bonus of up to 100,000 naira. Betano.ng. The game starts now.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Lagos, I have been saying this for quite a while now. Okay, so testimonies have been coming in. I just heard someone say, please repeat the number for me. When I was calling, where were you? You didn't pay attention. Anyways, because I'm generous like that, I'm going to repeat it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then do not sleep on this, because oneplay.ng is giving away a total of 150,000 naira every day here on Nigeria Info. And guess what? It's not just so, because some people have won as much as 3 times already. So what are you doing with your 200 naira? It is just 200 naira. If you don't know what to do, dial the code *347*880*3#. *347 star 880 star 3 hash for Nigeria info. Specify your number of entries. Now I'm calling for you what the prompt will look like. You specify your number of entries, you choose your bank, choose one to continue, and then you receive an SMS with instructions to make payments. Once payment is made and your transaction has been completed, you make sure you listen into the live draw on WhatsApp Lagos from 11:15 a.m. to 11:25 a.m. and on Game On from 8:15 p.m. to 8:25 p.m. Then on Chat Station from 10:15 p.m. to 10:25 p.m. every weekday. And remember that once the system picks your number, you, my dear, have won the cash prize of the day. So don't stop dialing star 347 star 880 star 3 hash till you have your own testimony. It's just 200 naira, all right? Make sure you follow the prompts. It's very important. Follow the prompts. Remember that you can play as many times as you like, but do not forget to play responsibly.
Okay, hello Lagos. Hard facts. I am still with my guest, Dr. Emeka Orjih. We are to. I bet you've learned more about BRICS and Mint and Nigeria and why we're not part of that, if you like, semi-exclusive group as we should be. And we don't know if we're going to be. 5 new entrants will be taken. Is Nigeria part of that 5? I don't know. But you can call. I don't have much time, so I'm going to let all of you, as many of you, call to ask Dr. Emeka as many questions as possible. 0700 993 993 993. The female only line is 014 657 Okay, the phone lines are open. I will try and pick up as many of your calls, and I'm coming to you now. Hello. Oops. You snooze, you lose. Right. Dr. Emeka, or Emeka, which I know is what you prefer. You were telling us, you were answering earlier. You've answered the question. Can you hear me? Have I cut you off?
Yes, I can.
Okay, super. You've answered the question on the debt. The other thing was, I had another caller who called about the World Bank and IMF and why do they keep, if you just write that down because I've got another call coming in, why do they keep lending to us? I fear you may have already answered that. Bear with me, let me answer more calls. Hello? You snooze, you lose. Sorry. Hello? I don't know what's happening with the phone line. Sorry. Let me try and come to your WhatsApp messages. Bear with me a second because I believe some will be there and I'm trying to get through to it. Right, here we go. WhatsApp. Right, what have I got here? Please ask your guest if anything is wrong. If anything is wrong, if the World Bank or IMF tied the loan to specific project and ensured the fund is, okay. They want to know if there's anything wrong in IMF or the World Bank tying any of the loans they give us to a specific project strictly in order to prevent our politicians from misusing them. Right? Emeka, did you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, let me answer.
Yes, I did.
Okay, hold on. More questions are here. My question is, what has been the actual economic or any other benefit of belonging to any of these blocks or bodies? Okay, I'm going to need you to answer to just write all of those down. Okay, good evening. With all these economic woes mentioned by your guest, who will bail the cat? My name is Emmanuel from Lekki. Good question. Okay, please ask your guest, Dr. Emeka Orjih, whether he finished from FGC Enugu 88 set from Chuka in SA. Emeka, you can answer that one later. Wait. Are you writing all of this down? I hope you are. Good evening, Okay. BRICS countries are growing fast, but are still far behind all the countries of the G7 in terms of GDP per capita, which is the real measure of economic prosperity and quality of life. Okay, that's a comment from Andoze in Maryland, Lagos. I'm gonna let's allow Dr. Emeka to answer that, and then we will talk. Emeka, over to you. Did you hear all those questions?
Okay, yes.
You can start with
I
the
missed,
easiest one. Did you go to Enugu, FGC Enugu?
I missed some of them.
Okay.
I missed some of the questions, so
Okay.
I would come back to ask the questions that I missed. So one question that I missed is Emmanuel from Lekki. I didn't hear. So let me answer the other ones, and then you would tell me what Emmanuel from Lekki asked.
All right, super.
And I would respond. So to Chuka in South Africa.
Yes, correct.
FGC Enugu class 88. Ireti, you know my name is Emeka Orjih. My name is not Dr. Emeka Orjih.
Yes, but I need
so
them to know
please,
that I know big people. Emeka, don't be exposing me like that. I have to be able to pose like our people on television. It is doctor. Go ahead. Forgive me.
Okay. So let me start from the last. I think you said Nadozie,
yeah,
if I got the name correctly.
Yes.
That made a comment about GDP per capita. What was that? Did it say GDP per capita is?
Yeah, he basically said, it was just a comment that the G7 countries still have a higher GDP per capita than the BRICS countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It was just a comment.
Yeah, they are not.
Is it not correct?
They are not.
Okay, go ahead.
They are not. He's probably correct, but they are not competing like that.
Aha.
You know, he's not that type of a competition of it's not a something measurement contest.
Okay.
It's just that the BRICS are a group of nations coming together to try to help themselves better themselves,
sure,
and help nations like them better themselves.
Okay.
So he's absolutely correct, even though there may be some argument as to whether GDP per capita is a better measure for quality of life and
right.
Is a better human development index.
Okay.
Many would argue that the UN's HDI, the Human Development Index of the UI of the UN, is the number one. Yeah, is the number one measurement for human development.
Okay.
And
let's move on. We have so many questions, and we don't have much time anymore.
As to the World Bank and IMF.
Yes.
Someone asked, why do they keep lending to us?
Well, I think let me combine the two questions. One person asked, why do they keep lending to us? The other person said, is it not possible that if they are going to lend to us, that they should tie it to a specific project, and almost like saying, if you're not going, you must do this for this. That prevents the fiscal irresponsibility that we, rascality. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. But the thing is, most of our debts don't come from organizations and funds,
right?
Like the World Bank,
right?
The World Bank and company deal in what is called development finance. Yeah. The development finance has a different set of requirements and parameters for measuring who is eligible and who is not eligible. So the world banks of this world would look at some other things. They may prioritize need. For instance, they invest in catastrophes, national disasters, and all that. What do they gain from that? Is there really a payback from that? So if there's a refugee situation in Nigeria today, like there are IDP camps in the northeast, some of the funds coming there is coming from organizations like the World Bank. So will you then build a commercial loan structure around something like that? You really can't. So that is why that is called development finance.
Right.
So the reason why they keep lending to us is because it's development finance and the parameters are a bit different. And even though yes, they have conditions that we should meet, and part of those conditions for certain loans is that those loans are actually then tied to specific things.
Right.
So the answer to the second question on the World Bank is yes, they actually do that. Yeah, they actually do that. They actually tie these things to particular things. But you know that even when it is tied, there is still room for maneuverability. Yeah, to be able to maneuver. There's still some wiggle room. So yes, they do that. It is not that every World Bank loan is tied to a specific project.
Okay.
As in 100%. It's tied to a specific project. But then there's now the problem of implementation and ensuring that it is used for that. A lot of the time, it is used for it, but perhaps not up to 100%.
Okay, super. Let me interrupt you a second. There are calls coming in. I tell you, they will have a go at me if they don't get to ask. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, rather. Yes, go ahead. Ask your questions very quickly.
Is that Nigeria Info?
Yes, it is. You're through to Hard Facts. Dr. Emeka is on the line. Yes.
I'm very, very lucky.
Yes.
What I wanted to say, I thank you for all you're doing, and we meet Sandra well.
Uh-huh.
It is thank God you have taken over. You have taken over.
Thank you.
Then another thing about Nigeria, we are under development because our leaders they are not seems to help. Borrowing can never help us because we cannot see the end of that money they are borrowing.
Right. Nigeria
should stop borrowing.
Okay.
Who is going to account for all those things? We have a leader, but they don't care. They don't care.
Okay.
Time without number. The money has been borrowed. Where does money go? Take for instance, we have refinery. What refinery in this country?
Okay.
Other country don't even get.
Okay. I need you to wrap up, sir, because we have lots of questions. And we're running really out of time.
Thank Mr. Your guest for me that he's all those things that he's analyzing is true.
Okay.
But our leaders should sit up.
Okay.
Our leaders should sit up and do something better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, that was really just a comment to say thank you to you, Emeka. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Hello, Sisoge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's quickly. What's your question?
Yeah, this is Olawale from Tabayaba.
Go ahead.
I just want to know if we can develop without borrowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. The last question, Olawale wants to know if we can develop without borrowing. Go ahead. We don't have much time, so I'm going to, Dr. Emeka, or Emeka as he prefers to be called, I'm going to leave the floor to him. You have like 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
Okay, so
1 minute?
So
we've run out of
so
time.
let me deal with. Someone says, "What are the benefits of belonging to these bodies?"
Yes.
The benefits of belonging to these bodies is like you, a human being, belonging to certain clubs, belonging to certain organizations. So, for instance, there are people that buy foodstuff together. When they buy a cow together, then they share the cow. So the pieces they get is now cheaper for them. So for instance, they're getting those things cheaper. So when you operate as a group, you gain advantages of economies. It could be economies of scale. It could be economies of learning. In other words, you're learning from what the others have already. You're not having to recreate the wheel. You're learning from what your neighbors have, from the experiences of your neighbors. So what are some of the benefits of this group? One is that there are trade opportunities. So within these groups, they trade amongst themselves. Yeah. So number 2 is that it is easier to get investment. So if you belong to this block, it is easier to get investment from the BRICS Development Bank, which is called a NDB. It is easier to get investment from Chinese institutions, Indian institutions, Brazilian institutions. Of course, there's diplomatic relations. So you get into trouble as a nation, and you want some people to stand up for you. The BRICS could go stand in the gap for you. Imagine that you've done something.
Okay, I've got to interrupt you. We've got 4 seconds. I'll be with you after the news. Please stay. Don't go away, Emeka.